As many of you know, the global pandemic caused many schools and universities to switch to virtual learning. It was no different for my school, as we now had to attend meetings and learn through our school-issued laptops. It was a tough change, and many of my peers felt depressed and lonely now that they were isolated from their friends and teachers. The events which I'm about to describe occurred earlier this year, in the middle of March. It was nearing the end of school one day, close to 2 p.m. if I had to guess, when something out of the ordinary occurred. Looking at the grid of faces on my screen, 3 girls, I believe they were close friends, jolted backwards in their seats as if they were being pulled from behind. Their eyes rolled back into their heads and they slumped over out of the frame. My jaw hung wide open. What the hell just happened? I thought to myself, looking at the stunned faces of my peers. They began typing in the chat box, sending a barrage of question marks and statements of confusion and fear. Some believed the girls were pulling a prank, while others thought they had experienced seizures. It had to be a joke, right? The thought of 3 people experiencing synchronized seizures seemed too bizarre to be considered real. Then it happened 15 minutes later. This time it was 5 students and the teacher, a total of 6. They repeated the same strange behavior before slumping over out of sight. 14 of us remained, and we had no idea what to do. There was no one to call. There was no one who would care with such little time left before school ended for the day. But just then, as the rest of my class was experiencing panic attacks and fits of crying, I was taken. It felt as if I was being dragged underwater against my will. I lost my vision instantly and felt a jerking sensation as I felt my face make contact with the cold keys of my laptop. I didn't know where I was, and I could hardly breathe. The only other thing I was aware of was that I was not alone. I felt the indescribable sensation of being observed from somewhere. The feeling of being watched dissipated as I faded deep into unconsciousness. When I awoke, I was met with the most intense feeling of dread and fear that I have ever experienced. I was somewhere dark, very dark. It was impossible to see anything past my hands, my clammy palms bathed in a sea of never-ending dark. I started walking. After all, this was most likely just a lucid dream brought on by anxiety or boredom. Nothing too serious. After walking around for 5 minutes in a seemingly endless world of darkness, I was met by them. I have no memory of what they looked like, only of what they felt like. In the presence of them, I felt small, insignificant, like an ant before a whale. Their presence demanded an atmosphere of pressure and discomfort, which continues to haunt me to this day. Looking all around, I saw my classmates. They were all there as far as I could tell. They gazed at them, and then I heard a voice. A boy was whispering in my ear. He spoke in tongues that I could not understand, but they could. The pressure increased tenfold as my ears began aching with the most intense, throbbing headache I had ever experienced. It was excruciating, and I hoped for death. The formerly blank faces of my classmates contorted into twisted expressions of pain and discomfort. The boy was gone. The last thing I remember is looking at them and then bursting into tears. I don't know why, but I couldn't stop sobbing uncontrollably in the presence of their greatness. The rest is blank. I woke up, in reality, 4 months later. My entire class made national headlines. High school class experiences mass coma made up the majority of the news in my hometown and state. It's now only been a few days since I've woken up, but my class has already gotten in contact with me. Everyone, including the teacher, said that they couldn't remember anything. Nothing at all. None of them remembered the incidents on the virtual meeting or meeting them. The last thing they remembered was a feeling of dread and then loss of all functions. I envy my class. I'm the only one cursed with the knowledge of what happened that terrible day. I'm the only one who knows about them. The only one who knows of the hidden secrets of this universe. Why did they choose me? What are they? Did they create us? Are they gods? What happened to my class? Why did they steal a class? These questions will likely never be answered. Probably not by me, at least. I don't know who else to share this story with. If I tell people at the hospital, they'll think I'm crazy and send me to some institute. If I tell my classmates, they'll think I was just joking or pulling a prank on them. This whole thing has caused me to develop severe anxiety. So please help me learn more about them. If they take you or you encounter them, please tell me. I need to learn more about these things that took me. I will never be at peace until I've talked to them once more. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you had a good scare or two. And if you did, give this video a thumbs up so we can spread the nightmares around. Stay haunted, my friends. I'll see you next time.